Our first person is Dr. Becky Domokos-Bays. You saw the trays over here, and that's actually a compostable tray from her district that I showcased a minute ago. Just a couple of things that I think you need to know about her district. It has about 12,300 students, but they speak over 100 languages. So when you begin to think about feeding kids in schools, it is the multiple challenges that districts face. The other thing, and I believe she's going to talk briefly to you about her schools meeting the Healthier U.S. School Challenge, which they've done. So, Dr. Bays.
Good afternoon. My key message today is that USDA needs to have interim rules and delayed implementation of the proposed meal pattern. Basically, we need evidence-based data so that we can gather to support the final rule. 3 comments. There's already a USDA tool in place, as the Senator referenced and as Dale referenced. We have the Dietary Guidelines for Americans. This is a USDA document. The dietary guidelines have prescriptive limits for fat, saturated fat, calories, trans fat, cholesterols, added sugar, and refined grains. And they also encourage the consumption of fruits and vegetables, low-fat dairy, and whole grains. These recommendations are data-driven. They're not somebody's opinion, and they're not somebody's philosophy of eating. So it's important to note that. The proposed meal pattern seeks to be even more prescriptive than the USDA guidelines, which I think we've kind of covered, by limiting the narrow group of food items, white potatoes, lima beans, peas, and corn, to no more than 1 cup a week. Any dietitian will tell you that you should never put foods in a good food, bad food situation, and that's what we feel that happens with these vegetables. These, as we've also talked about, these fruits and vegetables are high in key nutrients that kids need more of. Potassium, fiber, calcium, and vitamin D are happening when they add the cheese and those kind of things to the potatoes for the baked potato. Now imagine that you're a menu planner for a school division feeding 10,000 lunches a day. You want to include vegetable soup and a mixed veggie casserole. How do you count that? Can't do it. Imagine that you have multiple lines. We have 7 lines in my high school. And corn is on one line, potatoes are on another. How do you count that? Yes, USDA will say they'll give us technical guidance, but guidance does not take into account all the multiple layers that this will add to menu planning and analysis that is really unnecessary. An interim rule is needed to gather sound data to provide what positive nutrition outcomes this provision has for students and our programs. Anticipating the rule going into effect this year, I removed all the white potatoes from my high school menu. Took a chance. Our French fries were baked. We've never fried fries in Alexandria. And a half cup, if you can imagine, 10 to 12 crinkle cut potatoes. That's a half a cup. So vision that in your head. We offer more than 25 fruits and vegetables as choices over the course of every month, and that's in addition to potatoes. We've been in session for 22 days now, and our data indicate that instead of taking 2 choices, the starchy vegetable and another choice, which they're allowed to do, students are only taking 1 choice each day, thereby missing out on nutrients otherwise gained and getting even fewer servings of fruits and vegetables than recommended. Further study is needed via the interim rule to provide evidence-based information on the true nutrition and cost impact of these provisions. That's important for us. We need to have data, not opinion, and not somebody's philosophy.